Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
It's not one of those things that you can just wake up one morning and say, I'm going to hold a parade. It takes a lot of pre-planning, especially with the magnitude of that it's become.
Organizers of the St. Patrick's Parade in downtown Fargo have announced on their Facebook page that there will not be a parade for the 2019 holiday, saying the celebration has become too big with not enough money to keep everybody safe.
Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with the chairman of the committee, who says it would take a lot of donations and volunteers to even think about putting the event back on.
It's a celebration that hundreds of people in the valley look forward to every year.
It was always great to see so many people come out, just an opportunity for everyone to get together as a community.
But in this Facebook post yesterday, organizers announced after 21 years of bagpipes, candy, and all green get-ups, this year's parade has been canceled.
It takes a lot of money. It's not just $1,000 or $2,000 to do it. It's quite a bit of money in order to have it there.
Martin says funding has been an ongoing issue as the parade has brought in more and more people every year. Adding their biggest cost comes from the need for barricades for all future events.
The type of barricades that we had, tape doesn't work. The tape was being broken. People were going past the line. Children were going out. And we have a lot of large equipment. We have tractors and buses and stuff like that in the parade that, you know, at any moment a kid could go running out and be harmed.
He says that alone leaves the committee with a $20,000 bill. Martin adds the other problem comes from not having enough volunteers to ensure parade goers' safety and cleaning up when it's all said and done. But Martin says not to worry, adding the committee is taking this year to get organized to take on the downtown streets once again in 2020.
It's not that it's going to be done or it's over with. We want to be optimistic, that we want to be able to sit back now and take this year off to hopefully hold it again next year.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
The committee says there's no current way for the public to help, but a GoFundMe page has been used for fundraising in the past and could be used in the future.
When we look ahead to what's coming to this area in a couple days, it's a little daunting, but then so is the dangerous weather overnight. Hutch, what's the latest?
Well, this morning's temperatures, actual temperatures, between 30 and 35 below in northern Minnesota this morning. It was brutal. The coldest wind chills were in northeast North Dakota, where we hit the 40s below. Just brutal temperatures to start the day. We did not warm up much, and any wind at all is going to allow things to become dangerous again with wind chills overnight. Right now, we're 10 to 30 below across portions of the Red River Valley and western Minnesota. Devil's Lake, 25 below is what it feels like. The coldest chunk of air still centered over north central Minnesota. Badette already 18 below, 9 below in Grand Forks. We're on our way to the teens below as we get into the late evening hours, and 20 below as we go through the middle of the overnight. Another brutal night ahead. We have some snow to talk about and an even colder blast of Arctic air heading our way. I'll have details in just a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch.
An officer-involved shooting that left a Red Lake, Minnesota man dead has been deemed legally justified by the Beltrami County State's Attorney. The decision came with the release of dash cam and also body cam video of the shooting. Documents say a normal traffic stop on the night of November 28th in Bemidji led to a struggle between an officer and Vernon Andrew John May, who had a felony warrant out for his arrest. The 34-year-old from Red Lake died on the scene. Body cam video shows Officer Duran repeatedly trying to talk down May, and May answers with, "Shoot me." Officer Duran, in fear for his life, fired his gun 9 times, and Deputy Newhouse fired his gun once. The report says all of the shots were fired within 5 seconds of each other. The Beltrami County Attorney says while the death of another human being by deadly force is never to be taken lightly, there is no question that the action of both officers were justified. While Deputy Newhouse is back to work, there's no word if Officer Duran has returned. The full video will be posted on our website, valleynewslive.com.
After 34 days, the partial government shutdown appears to be ending for now to give Congress time to hammer out an agreement on immigration. Friday afternoon, President Trump announced a deal to reopen the government, although it does not include any money to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border.
In a short while, I will sign a bill to open our government for 3 weeks until February 15th. I will make sure that all employees receive their back pay very quickly or as soon as possible.
Congress will still need to pass the bill after the president signs it. During the Rose Garden announcement, Mr. Trump continued to talk about the benefits of a border wall to keep migrants from crossing into the U.S. illegally. Funding the barrier is something lawmakers will continue to debate, but in the meantime, furloughed employees can get back to work. The president hinted that he could still invoke a national emergency to get money for the wall if Congress does not approve funding to build it.
Before the president's announcement this afternoon, the FAA said that it had experienced a slight increase in sick leave at 2 facilities and were mitigating the impact by augmenting staffing, rerouting traffic, and increasing spacing between aircraft when needed. The effects of the ground stop were also clear at Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport earlier today. David Crawford was one of the people heading to New York City this morning. His flight was delayed too.
Just waiting for the go sign, and the last update said 10:25 is when we're supposed to go. And the pilot's been great communicating to us. Nobody knows what the hold is about, but they just know it's an air traffic controller hold for LaGuardia and other East Coast airports.
In light of the staffing issues, the president of the National Air Traffic Controllers Association issued a statement today and said NATCA does not condone or endorse any federal employees participating or endorsing a coordinated activity that negatively affects the capacity of the national airspace system.
A man is recovering after he fell through a ceiling tile at Shanley High School this morning in Fargo. Officials say a contractor that was working on a heating system fell into the library below. About 15 students were in that area at the time of the fall, but are all okay. The worker fell about 10 feet to the ground. The man was taken to a hospital and we're told is expected to be okay.
The North Dakota State Penitentiary remains in lockdown. A Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation spokesperson says 7 staff members were assaulted in 2 separate incidents this week. They required medical treatment for their injuries. No visitation is allowed while the lockdown is in effect. That lockdown will be reassessed on Monday.
North Dakota lawmakers are debating today whether school districts should have the authority to staff an armed responder in their schools. House Bill 1332 proposes that school districts decide if they want an armed responder who would be vetted and trained. There is no language in the bill that requires a teacher to be the armed first responder. Representative Pat Heinert says he believes school resource officers are the best option to arm, but not all school districts have funding for one. Several people spoke in opposition to the bill, saying it would be a liability, regardless of what decision a district would make.
Having people with weapons walking around and hoping that they can be in the right place at the right time, I think it creates more problems than it solves.
I keep on coming back to protecting the kids and providing an opportunity for some school districts that are limited in opportunities within their communities.
ND United says it's in favor of keeping kids safe, but that teachers don't want to be armed responders.